This is part 2 of the orientation to cases, dealing with the actions that can be taken on them. You'll know from table 6.4 in chapter 6 that it's possible to group, link and interrogate cases. Indeed, because cases are a type of node, most of the actions that can be taken on cases are the same as those that can be taken on other nodes. There is an important difference between cases and other types of node, however. This is the ability to link attribute values to cases, so we start off looking at that. In addition, we look at interrogating cases, in a query and by comparing cases visually. We saw in the first part of this video that cases can be used to represent units of analysis in a study. We used the example of a respondent being a unit and discussed the common use of coding each respondent's talk in a focus group to a case. In this project, it was necessary to distinguish the characteristics of each speaker. As you know, cases are types of node, but they're special types of node because they can have attribute values linked to them. If I go and look at the properties of a case, we can see the attributes that have been linked. In this example, that happened as part of the survey import process, but you can see that the attribute values applied to cases can be changed here. We're just looking at the attribute values for one case right now, but we can also visualise them together in classification sheets, so I'll just show you that. Here you can see the case classification is named to represent the unit being classified, survey respondent, and the attributes that are being used to classify the respondents are hanging underneath. Opening up the classification sheet displays the attribute values that have been linked to each case so far. In this project, linking attribute values to cases enables us to ask questions about what the respondents have said in relation to their socio-demographic characteristics. We discuss attribute values in more detail in that section of chapter 5, and in the video about attribute values we show how to make use of them in a query. Generating cases out of the talk of focus group respondents also enables us to focus a query just on the talk of particular respondents. If, for example, I wanted to search for a particular word or phrase in a focus group transcript, here I've reopened one of the transcripts. Let's imagine that I wanted to search for the word job. If I do that on the level of a whole source, then of course I'm going to pick out where the moderator is using that word, as well as where the respondents are. However, if I now go down to queries and choose to do a new text search query, what I can do is to search for the word that I'm interested in, but this time scope this query to the case nodes for the focus group respondents. I'm just going to first of all automatically select all of these, and then I'm going to take off the moderator case, and that will mean that NVivo will search for the word job, but not where the moderator has been talking. If I click OK and then run the query, I will find that none of the instances of the word job are found in the talk of the moderator. And you can see that here because NVivo is highlighting all the hits it has found of that word, but it hasn't found where the moderator used that word. I'm just going to finish up by showing you how to compare cases visually. Here I've got a case relating to one of the focus group respondents. If I right click on that case, I can see the sorts of actions that I could take on that case. What I'm going to do now is go to the Visualize option and choose to compare this case with another case. I'm going to select the second case to which I want to compare, respondent 8, click OK, and NVivo automatically generates a comparison diagram for me. The two cases that I chose are sitting here, highlighted in this yellow colour, and then I can see the other items in my NVivo project that are associated with that case. You can see, for example, that they both come from the same transcript. They've got some nodes in common, but there are also some aspects which are different for each case. There are many other actions that we could take on cases, but in this video we've just given you a little bit of flavour. If you need to find more out about cases, you can read on in the book, and you can have a look at our blog post about using cases and applying attribute values to them.